Hello and welcome back to another How to Bloke. Now today's, where's today? Somewhere middle of July I think it is, 2021. Now I'm wearing a special apron today because I look forward to Christmas. Can you tell that I'm looking forward to Christmas? Anyway, today we're going to do something tuna, with tuna, can of tuna, right? The old Common Garden can of tuna, there it is. And I'll show you what we're going to do. Right, this is going to be tuna with a tomato sauce. So what you're going to need, out of all this lot, what you're going to need, forget about the eggs for the moment. Forget about the eggs, that's for the topping. Right, you're going to need definitely a tin of tuna, a tin of tomatoes, an onion, some olives, some diced peppers, frozen or fresh, whatever. Or you can get some of these olives and peppers in a tin, you just chop it up. Now for this recipe, and you're going to need some raisins, sultanas, not raisins, sultanas. I keep saying raisins when I mean sultanas. Some tomato ketchup, salt and pepper, and did I say garlic? No, frozen garlic or fresh garlic, might need that. And today, now, camera person, stick up here please. Right, now you can, we're going to today, because I can't eat gluten anymore, after I turn 50 something, forget it. Gluten and me don't see eye to eye. So, this is polenta, this is made from corn. So we're going to have some of that. Now, with this, traditionally there is no tradition. I haven't even got a name for this. So, I'm going to leave it the title, tuna and tomato blank. So you can fill it in, I will fill it in with the best suggestion. What was I saying? Oh yes, we're using this today, but you can use rice. I suggest whole grain rice, mixed grain rice, or just ordinary rice. Or you can use couscous, you know, the stuff, but that's wheat based, so I can't have that. So anyway, let's crack on with this. Now I'm sure the person who's going to be editing this video is going to be fast forwarding me chopping this onion, because people have had enough of me chopping onions. But what you're going to do is going to chop this onion. So I'll get on and do that and fast forward it. Okay, right, so we chop the onion. Hopefully you've been fast forwarded through that. So we're going to put it in one of these big pans here, like this. Big pan, big saucepan. I need a little bit of oil in it, little bit, like this, like a tablespoonful. You don't want much in there. You want to load it up with oil, it's pointless. It'll go from healthy to unhealthy. Right, so that's that. So we're going to get that going. Now, on with these peppers. Now look, I'll show you. You can buy these cheaply, these peppers. Well, relatively. I find that when I buy fresh peppers, they always go off quickly. But, you know, they don't last. So what I do is, unless I'm using a whole fresh pepper for something special, I just buy these frozen ones. Look, you can buy them like that. Right? So you just bung them, you know, it's all ready kind of thing. So how much of that in? Well, I put about this much in, look. This is for 4 people. Right, about that much. So, right, so that's that. Now we're going to put in one of these actually. Now these are slightly different from your Common Garden pepper because these ones are smoked ones. So they add a little bit of flavour. You don't have to put them in. If you haven't got any, you know, so what? It doesn't matter. So what we're going to do is just going to chop it up like this, slices or whatever, and then we're going to bung that in like that. Now, olives. Coming soon, by the way. Coming soon, I'm going to show you how I make my special pickle spoon. But here's a preview. Now that's unfinished, but you can see what I'm talking about. Right, this is where we go with these olives. Right, how many olives? I don't know. About that many. 4 people, remember. So whatever you do, kind of like divide it into like 4. That's good for 4. See, look, that's how you measure it out, like what, per plate, right? So that's how you kind of guesstimate it. So that's good for 4, isn't it? Right, so we're going to just kind of chop these. Right, again, I'll fast forward through this thing. You don't need to see me doing this. Right. Okay, so I've done these are the olives going in. Right, once you first time you do this, it's going to be a bit slow, but you know, once you've done it once or twice, and you will because it's so good. Right, garlic. Go, where is it? Over here. Right, again, garlic frozen. How much do you put in? I don't know, about four cloves. 1 clove per person, 1 for the pot. So I reckon about that. That's a little bit much, but you know, hey ho, garlic's good for you. You don't have to put the garlic in, but I suggest you do because it adds flavour. Yeah. Right, so that's everything. That's that. Right, next up is the tomatoes. So let's open this tomato tin. One tin of tomatoes. Now these were chopped tomatoes. If you haven't got chopped tomatoes, there's no biggie, you know. You just chop up whole tomatoes and bung them in. How much? Oh, about in a big cupful like that. Get a little bit of water from the tap. Excuse me, camera person. Like that. Like half a tin of water. Right, what are we missing? Sultanas, we'll do that later on. Right, tomato ketchup. Now here's the interesting thing. When you get to the end of this, how much tomato ketchup, I don't know, whatever's left in the bottle there, like that. Right, what you do in the end is to get the rest of it out. If you're cooking it, I mean, obviously you can't put it on your bacon or your egg, but what you do is you get hold of it like that, and you put the top back on, and you shake it. Now, if you shake it with hot water, the hot water will expand the air in here and it'll squirt out. So use cold water. Right, so that goes in here like that. And there we go. Now, have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is our mixture. Now, we're going to have to cook this. It's not a quick lunchtime. You can have it for lunch for sure, supper, but it's not a quick job. So we're going to simmer that for half an hour. And right, you know, before we do that, we're going to get the couscous ready. Now it's not couscous, I keep calling it couscous, it's not. It's polenta. The couscous is made of wheat, polenta is made of corn. Now this particular polenta, it is medium grain. I'll show you what it looks like. Right, I'll show you what it looks like. Let's pull some out. Again, how much do you need for 4? This is polenta, for remember, so about that much. There we are. 4 people. A bit more. Right, so, now, look on the packet. This one is medium grain, so that's moyens, that's just French for medium. Now, you can get fine grain, that's good. You can get coarse grain, but the coarser the grain, the longer it takes to cook. So, it's up to you. They taste both the same, I can't tell the difference. But the texture's obviously different. Right, what we need in there, a little bit of salt. A little bit of salt, chefy salt like this. This is chefy salt, voila. So in this goes like that. Now we move that over there. And we put some water in it. Now how much water we put in it? We need enough to mix it, so we go like that. Right, we may need a bit more, we'll have a look. Can you put pepper in it? Yeah, of course you can put pepper in it. Bit more water. It's better to err on the side of more water than not. Right, so it sticks together like that, look. See? So you can make a shape with you when you grip it. Right. Right, now this, what I've done here, I haven't got a couscous maker. I've got this, what I've got is a very fine sieve. You see how thin that sieve is? Look. And it goes inside that thing, which is like a steamer top. Right? So what I do is I stick that in there and put that in there like this. Right? So that's in there like that. Right. So then what you do is you shush it out to the outside like that, so it's all cut at the same level. Now how do I cook this? In the microwave? No. In the oven? No. It's got to be steamed, ladies and gentlemen. Steamed. So what we're going to do, this is water I've already got boiling, that's probably going to be hot, so I'm going to get a cloth. So, what we're going to do is we're going to put that, now that sits in there like that. Right, that's got about 2 inches or 3 inches of water in there, boiling. So that sits in there like that. Put the lid on, keep it boiling, don't let it dry out, and cook it for half an hour, the same amount of time as this. Right, now let's go back to this for a moment. Spoon, right, spoon. So, there we go, that's got to simmer away like that for half an hour, and that half an hour. So we're back in half an hour. See you then. Hello, well we're back after half an hour. Now look, have a look in here please. Camera lady person. Now, that's the mixture. Now, look how it's thickened up there. That's good, isn't it? You don't want it like soup, that's good. Right, so that's ready to go. Now, this polenta is here. Mind the camera lady person. Right, now after half an hour on a boil, this is going to be cooked. Don't forget, you mustn't let it run out of water in there when it's steaming, okay? So, now what you're going to do is just fluff it up. Right, just break it up like that. Break it up like that. It'll be kind of like hard, you just have to just run a fork through it. But you see it's lovely and fluffy now. It won't cook in less than, I haven't found one that cooks less than, when you're steaming it anyway, when it cooks less than half an hour, you need a half an hour for it. You can't make it quickly. You can cook it quicker if you boil it in the water, but we're not going to do that. We don't want to do it from this recipe. We're going to steam it like this. Right, so once you've fluffed it up, then what you can do is get some sultanas, not raisins, sultanas. Right, get a handful like this and bung them in.
It's a great alternative to rice, isn't it, for gluten-free?
Yeah, for sure. People get fed up with rice as well, you know. And couscous is an alternative. Right, just stick that back on there for a little bit. We know it's cooked. But one of the beauties of this meal is when it's all cooked, you can keep it. You can turn it off. If people are not here yet, you can turn it off and just gently warm it up, or you can keep it on a low bubble, as I call it. Yeah, simmer. So, right, last bit is the tuna. Right, with this is what a common guard can of tuna in salt water, or brine, whatever they call it. Right, carefully as you take this off. I've got a bowl like this. Now that's the juice. I'm just going to cut this up a little bit so we can get it out of the can. Right, because there's 4 portions, this is what you want. 4 servings. You can't really do it with less tuna than this. Well, you could, I suppose. But you know, think about a can this size. Right, now with this tuna, we're just going to break it up a little bit. Don't make it into like baby food, because you know, not everybody likes that. So just kind of make it these small chunky things like that. Now you're going to ask yourself, I'm going to, is how the bloke going to pour that in there with the juice? Well, sometimes he has and sometimes he hasn't. I would say use a little bit of juice from the can to give it some flavour. Right, with my spoon, I'm just going to plonk it in here. Now we get the sauces cooked down, like that. I mean, you could just go wallop and put it all in, but I'm not going to do that. I'll show you why. Some people, tin fish still, how can I say, not an acquired taste, but some people don't like tin fish. This tin tuna is so versatile and it's cheap as well. I got this tin of tuna for, I don't know, €3 or something, so it's good. I mean, all of this to cook, you can feed a family of 4 for, I don't know, €6 or something. Anyway, give it a whiz around like that. Now what you're doing, you're not cooking the tuna because it's already cooked in the can. So you're just heating the tuna through. Now this is a little bit of sauce in there, right? So you can put that in if you want to, or you can leave it out. You know, this tuna. If you put that in there, it's going to increase the tuna taste. So
will it increase the salt as well, I'm thinking?
maybe, yeah, probably will do because it's got salt in it in the can, hasn't it? Right. So that's that ready to serve up. Now, what we're going to do now, we're going to
brunch dinner, brunch.
Yeah, I was to say, you can do it any time, can't you? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you can keep it warm. As I said, you can do it. Just keep it on a simmer, or heat it up. Right, what are we doing? Oh yeah, plate. Right. So we get plate from the oven. We turn everything off now. Turn everything off. We get a plate from the oven. Now these are hot. We're having lunch in a minute. We're having this. This is a favourite in the house. This is. So we're going to get a spoon, and we're going to go in. Let's move this over here. We're going to go in with some of this. Now you don't have to put the sultanas on it, but you know it's good. Sultanas are good. So here we go.
Whose portion is that?
Well, it looks more than it is, but you know. And then we go 1, 2. Ah, you see? Now, how about that?
It's lovely.
And what are you going to do? If you want to, you don't have to, but this family likes a bit of fried egg. You can put a little bit of fried egg on it. Salt, well, yeah. You try it without first. Always try this. It should be okay without it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you what this looks like over here. Now, what you can do, you're thinking, well, is that here? Well, it is. Now, what you can do with this recipe, right? You can, when you're making it, you can put in, show these person, the camera person, you can put in some sweet and sour sauce, you can add it, you can put in some liquid seasoning, a stock cube of some sort, you know, don't have to use fish, just an ordinary vegetable stock cube or something, you know, that's not meaty, some chili sauce, or you forget, go easy on the chili sauce because you can't take it out once it's in there, and some, my old favourite, salad herbs. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I've got another tin fish recipe, which is, I never knew it was going to be so popular, but really, it's sardines. I'll leave a link in the description if you don't see it up here in the pop-out banner. But give it a go, it's good. Anyway, I've got some, let me see, got some cooking stuff, recipes up here. I've got quick tips here. I've got DIY mechanical jobby things down here. If you want to subscribe to me, it's down there. So until next time.